Today is Mountain Day. Hello everyone. Before we get into the main video of our mountain experience, I wanted to make this little video. As you can see, we are back home. We are unpacked and stuff, but I just wanted to explain why the ending of this video will be short. I didn't recall much on coming down the mountain, and I just wanted to explain why. And I wanted to explain that even the most experienced mountaineers can run into difficulties. Working the way up weren't too bad, but once we got to the top, there were several occasions that we were thinking about calling the mountain rescue. So I wanted to do this little start part of the video just to make people aware how quickly things can change up the mountains. So I've got the map with me. So the way I'm going to do it, I'll give a quick little explain what happened, but throughout the video I'll insert little clips from now where I get the map out and explain exactly what was going on at that point. So
hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be climbing Glyders. I can't remember what they're called.
So today it's Mountain Day. We're staying in a lovely little place in Carnarvon, North Wales, and we've been here since Friday.
Yeah.
Been here since Friday, and we come here hoping to do a mountain. One of the original plans was Snowdon. The last time we went up Snowdon, at the top it was 85-mile-an-hour winds. Insert a clip here of that experience. Now, we do aim to come back and do Snowdon again. Now, I've already done Snowdon, I think, 4 times now?
Yeah.
I've been up Snowdon a lot. So, to do it again, and like this trip, and then to come back maybe next year, the plan is to do Snowdon. It seems like I'm doing Snowdon a bit too much. So what we thought, we'll leave Snowdon on this trip, and instead we'll go up Glyders and Glyders. I don't know the proper pronunciation of it, but I myself have done these mountains way back when I was younger, so it'll be good to do it now I'm older, and now I'm actually really interested in the mountain stuff, because back then I was young, weren't that interested in it. You have only done Snowdon.
Yeah. Now
Snowdon's got multiple routes up, so there might be a route similar, but the Glyders path that we went up, it was, you could take dogs up it. Your kids were going up it.
It wasn't that.
It's more of a touristy walk.
Yeah.
These are harder in the sense they're shorter, but you're climbing an incline quicker, because a lot of it's there's some scrambling. Your hands are getting involved. So, with it being your second mountain, I'm excited to see how you do.
Yeah, me too.
But I do think you can do it.
Yeah.
What the idea was, Trefan is next to them, and I was looking last night to maybe see if she's marked off Snowdon. She'll be marking off these two mountain peaks today, and I was looking to see if maybe she can mark off Trefan while we're here, because it's literally next door to the mountains we're doing. But looking at it, that's much more of a climb. So
Yeah,
I feel like,
little space in between.
yeah,
That looked a little bit hard.
yeah. So
we might get there today though, and then decide. You know what? We'll just do it while we're here.
yeah, but from my experience, I would think get your experience up a bit more before the full climbs.
I'll just fall
down. Yeah, we don't want you falling down. I just want to say, speaking on that, we were in Lamberis yesterday, and we went on the train around the lake, and while we were there, the mountain rescue helicopter went out, and it looked like it was going sort of to the northeast of Snowdon.
It was so low at one point, wasn't it?
So I just want to say I hope nothing serious happened there, and everyone made it off the mountain okay. So yeah, the idea is what we're gonna. In fact, I'll show you on the map. So the idea, we're staying in a lovely little place in Carnarvon, right in the actual castled town. And what the original plan was to get the S1 bus, which is the red line here, to Lamberis, which I just want to state for the record is one of my favourite places on earth. But today there's a race on. It's like a triathlon, was it? Yeah. There's a triathlon on. So the S1 bus stops here, where the mountains are here. So we would have to think of another way to get down the Penny Pass to roughly, where are we? Roughly here. So instead of risking the travelling to Lamberis and then we can't gain access to the start point somewhere here to go up to the Glyders this way, what we're going to do instead, we're going to head to Bangor, and then we're going to get the T10 bus, which is the green one here, and it takes us to Ogwen Valley, which is here, okay, and we're going to climb the mountain coming from the north instead of coming from the south there. So what the aim is, so that's Ogwen Valley. So if we look at that on this map, I'll just put it side to side so you can see. So we're roughly here on both, right? So what the aim is here, we're gonna try and get off the bus somewhere by Ogwen Valley. Then we're gonna take this green dotted path to Lyn Idwell, and then we're gonna go to the left of the lake, follow it round, and then we're gonna go up a place called, so we're coming away from the lake, come here somewhere. I believe there's a bit of scrambling here, and then we're gonna head up a place called Devil's Kitchen, which I don't like climbing anything with devil in its name, but we should be okay. So we're gonna come up Devil's Kitchen, and there's a path that takes us to this Lyn. I'm not even gonna try and pronounce that. And then we're gonna come up to eventually reach Glyders at 1001 meters. Okay, and then we're gonna walk across to Glyders at 994 meters. and then we'll do the return journey the same way we come up. So Glydder 1001 metres, Glydder 994. Now, obviously, we're only climbing up, walking across, and then heading back down. So even though it's two mountain peaks, we're only really climbing one mountain because they're both connected. How many metres is Snowdon? So this Glydder, Snowdon is here. So Snowdon is 1085.
Yeah.
So what we're doing today, it's
only
quite similar in height. Yeah. There's 80 odd metres difference, but this will be a little bit more challenging compared to the Lambert's path on Snowdon.
See, when you watch it on the YouTube videos, it does. But then, do you know what I mean? Like when you see people walking it until they get to the top, and then you realise it is high. But
Which
that's like
Snowdon?
No, the one that we're doing today.
Oh yeah.
But that's like Snowdon. Remember, like I was joking at the start, like, oh look at it, it's not even that high. Yeah. We didn't even get halfway, and I was like, Anthony, I don't think I can do this.
Yeah, but
I feel like if we were to climb Snowdon today, because I've already done it once now, it's a completely different experience because not only I've already done it once, it'd still be hard, but the weather, like when we went, the weather was horrendous. Yeah. Like it was raining, there was hailstones.
We did go in October to do Snowdon.
It was so windy. Like at one point, I even said, I feel like we're going to get blown off the top. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like, even though it's raining today, well, it's like on and off, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's still so, the weather's so much better.
But, like I said to you when we done Snowdon, that was your very first mountain ever. And you climbed the highest mountain in Wales.
And it was an experience.
85 mile an hour winds on the top.
Yeah.
Like to think of that, it's you done well.
And my eyelashes stayed on the whole way.
Yeah, our eyelashes stayed on, which is a bonus. So to be honest, that says more about the glue than you.
Yeah.
But to think like your very first ever mountain experience was the highest in Wales. Yeah. And then 85 mile an hour winds on the top. That's why the likes of Trefan, like it's similar to me doing stuff with my brothers. If I feel like they're not gonna be comfortable doing it, I will take responsibility. I'll take responsibility and say, I don't want to do that with you. Yeah. Because you're not experienced, you won't take it seriously. Because the last thing I want is mountain rescue to be coming out. So, Trefan, I wouldn't say do that.
We can do that next time.
Yeah. I would say let's get a bit of scrambling in today, and I think you'll smash it.
I hope so.
Yeah. So that's the plan. I did do a video when I went up Snowdon one time with my granddad, but that was just a load of pictures and videos put together. I have got my little tripod with me, and what my aim is, what my aim is to try and actually do a good little recording. So I brought the tripod, and I'll try and.
Should have got a selfie stick.
Yeah.
Like everyone else does.
Yeah. Well, we'll just sellotape it to the hiking poles.
Stick on with my eyelash glue.
So I got the tripod. So if we wanted to, we can do one of them things where we put the camera 100 meters away,
walk and then afterwards
pretend we're walking past it, and then run back and get it. But yeah, I'll try and do a more, would you say, professional video?
Yeah.
But like I say,
there's two of us with phones.
Yeah. We just want to enjoy the experience. But whatever I can show you, I'll show you as well. So
I'm excited.
I am as well, because that will be I was going to say Snowdon and the Glyders ticked off, but I've already done that. I just want to say as well, the last time I went up these Glyders, we was younger, and there was a big group of us. My brother decided to show off, jumping from rock to rock, and he ended up slipping and snapping a bone in his leg to the point.
Did he actually break it?
Well, he acted like he did.
Oh, I thought he had just like fallen funny and sprained it.
But what happened was we ended up having to get the mountain rescue out because he could not get down the mountain. And what happened was where we were, like I say, this was a long time ago, so I can't remember exactly at what point, but where we were, the mountain rescue couldn't get to us. So me and another lad had to make a makeshift swing out of rope. I had rope around me, a little bit of a swing, rope around one of our other teammates, and my brother had to sit on this, and we had to carry him halfway down the mountain before mountain rescue could reach him. So no messing around today. I don't want to have to be making swings and all this.
Give me a piggyback.
Yeah. So yeah, I won't show you any of the travelling between here and Bangor and there. So I'll just catch up with you at the start at Ogwen Valley. Peace.
Bye guys.
I just want to say that quick in case I forget to say it later on, while it's fresh in my mind. Me and my youngest brother, we're looking on coming to Wales next month. We aim to go up Snowdon via the most dangerous route up Cribgoch. It's like a knife edge route. It's meant to be one of the most dangerous routes up any mountain in the UK. So hopefully we'll be doing that next month. If you do like this sort of stuff, consider liking or subscribing, so you can see any future little adventures I go on. So yeah, I'm nervous for Cribgoch, but it's something that's on my bucket list. I've always wanted to do it. So yeah, if you want to see that in the future, consider subscribing. I do appreciate it. Or even if you're just stopping by to watch a little video, thank you, and feel free to comment any feedback, negative, positive. I'll take it all in and learn from it. So yeah, I just wanted to say that while it's on my mind. Thank you. That is where we're going up. Mountains in the sky. God help us. Working our way from the start of the mountain was perfectly fine. We got off the bus at Ogwen Valley by Lynn Ogwen. We had a bit of difficulty finding the start path. We missed the parking, at the lake, and we ended up further down the road than what we had planned. So we were having difficulty finding the start path. We ended up going up a wrong path that I believe would have led us to Trefan when we wanted to climb Glydderfach and Glydderfell. So at the start we ran into a bit of trouble, nothing serious. I got the map out, found the right path, and went across the boggy land, across the stream that you'll see at the start. We've just got off the bus at Ogwen Lake, Lynn Ogwen, and even that is something I would come back for again. But look at this. So we're walking along the lake to the start point to head up to the Glyders. That is where we're heading. It looks scary from here. And then I'm guessing that is Trefan. I'm guessing.
It does.
But yeah.
Because look at that bit.
Yeah, it's either Wygon or Trefan.
Because when we
I can't remember.
All the stones like that.
Yeah.
Do you know on that man, the man and the lady who did it?
But that itself is a trip for another day. And then there's this. You could spend months in North Wales and you still won't get to do everything.
Yeah, because look over there. There's an even one over there too.
Yeah. Like, just the mountains alone, there's just too many to do on one trip, 2 trips, 10 trips.
Is that a cow? No, that's
A sheep. And then you've got the quarries you can go in. There's just so much. So there's a lot of trips I want to do. But for now, let's just get up these ones and tick them off. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Confident?
Yeah.
She says she's confident in an unconfident way, but I've got faith. You'll be able to do it. So yeah, catch you in a bit. She is leading the way. Right, we had a little bit of an issue trying to find the start path. We come across 2, so it got to the point where we had to just pick one. At the end of the day, as long as you're going up, that's all that matters. Oh, well, we've started. Okay, so beginner's mistake. We went to the wrong car park and we went up a wrong path. So now we have to, now we have to cross that. Do you want to go first? I don't know. Do you reckon we head further down and look? Wish us luck.
Wow.
I'm just going to look at this. we're on the right path, finally. We got a bit lost. My fault. I've not done this mountain from this side before. But we're here.
It was lost, but it was fun.
Yeah, lost but fun. We had
soggy shoes.
We've got soggy shoes. We had to cross a stream. A lot of soggy, boggy Shrek homeland. And yeah, now we're here. What we're looking at is what's called Devil's Kitchen. Can you remember why it's called Devil's Kitchen?
Yeah, because the mist that comes off the mountain rises, so it looks like the mist in a kitchen. The devil bit, I'm not sure, but that is that's why it's called that.
Well, like I
I'd
say,
like to know why it's called Devil's Kitchen and not your nan's kitchen or
your nan's kitchen.
everyone's got a nan.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, why Devil's Kitchen? Like, that makes it sound like danger.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, I don't like the idea of going up anything with the name Devil, but we'll see when we get there. It's somewhere up there where we're going, but over this is Lynn Idwell. So I don't know if you want to stop off there, have something to eat, or keep going. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. Here we are at Lake Idwell. She's down there exploring, possibly washing her feet. Beautiful. Right, so what you've seen up to now was we instead of going to this car park, we ended up at this one. Couldn't find the right path up. We thought we was going up the Glyders here, but in fact we were actually heading up Trefan here. So halfway up here somewhere we could see the right path, so we started heading across. You'll see the video of me jumping over this here, and we eventually found the right path, made our way down this side of Lynn Idwell, past it, and to Devil's Kitchen here. Once we got past Lynn Idwell, there's a section called Devil's Kitchen. Now, I explained in the video, I don't like doing anything with devil in the name. It's not a good symbol. So, behind the scenes, what isn't shown on the videos or pictures I had taken, my partner, halfway up Devil's Kitchen, slipped and smashed her ankle. I believed we could carry on. It didn't appear broke or anything, so I thought we could carry on. She was eager to carry on, so the confidence was still there. And yeah, that's behind the scenes. We try not to show it, so you won't see that in the videos or the pictures. But I just wanted to make it aware she had hurt her ankle halfway up Devil's Kitchen. So I don't know.
we're getting there. Oh, I was on video. Everyone, look at what we're doing here. The path sort of disappears down there, and we are literally scrambling up Devil's Kitchen. Oh, so a lot of it's just guessing your own way up, and then it'll go to steps. Then the steps will disappear a little bit, and it's just guesswork up Devil's Kitchen. But look at that. She's doing amazing, by the way. She's flying. But yeah, we're gonna plod on. Right, we've just done Devil's Kitchen. We just went past the wall, and that was a little bit of a scrambly type route where you have to sort of guess your own sort of path. But now it's sort of loose rock type of thing. And from what I've got told, this is what it is till the top now. So I'm hoping so. But yeah, we'll see. I just want to say, on the way up Devil's Kitchen, we did cross a path with a group of women, and one of them said, basically trying to get us to turn back, saying up there it's hard, you've got to climb, making it seem impossible. And yeah, we've just done it fairly okay. So what I will say is, try not to listen to people's opinions. Everyone's got different physical and mental attitudes and abilities, so just give it a go. We carried on that little bit hard, the little bit extra hard path, and then we reached this. So if we would have listened to that lady, we could have turned back, and all of that would have been wasted. So don't just listen to people. You can ask for advice and all that, but just give it a go. And
like it's personal preference.
Yeah.
Like she did say, you can't. It's not possible to do.
Yeah.
Like it was hard.
Yeah, but we've
it
done
wasn't as hard
But-
as like
but-
she made out. Like you had to climb over like
Yeah.
big rocks and.
She even done the action like this when it's not. It
We literally
was a
climbed
scramble.
stones.
But that could have persuaded other people to turn back. When if you just go that little bit further, you're here. So ask for advice, but just give it a go yourself. And if it comes to it, and we got to a section where we think, no, not for us, at least we got to that point. So I just wanted to say, give it a go. Have a bit of confidence, give things a go, and you never know, you could just have that bit of confidence that gets you over that next section. And
take someone like you.
What?
Take someone like you. Because you're very good in these situations.
No, I know what you can and can't do in regards of this.
Yeah.
So if I feel like it's too much for you, I would say, right, no.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Like, I do research before all this. I see the routes and what it could involve. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to say, ask for advice, but just give things a go yourself. We're gonna plod on.
okay, and it is halfway up Devil's Kitchen where my partner slipped and smashed her ankle. We managed to fight through it, carry on up Devil's Kitchen, and roughly here somewhere, I'll get a bit closer, between this lake here and here, all of this here is what they call scree. It is loose rock. Every step is slippy.
That's Egon that you can see there. We're heading there.
Slippy. It was somewhere up here where the panic started setting in for me, because it was very much stop go, and that's when I weren't showing it, but I was starting to worry, because I knew it was beginning to become a fight against time, because we also had to make the return journey down back to this road, and the way we was going, I was worrying we weren't gonna make it back. So halfway up this scree, we had a quite a long break where I was trying to make it clear that we have to make a decision whether to start heading back down or carry on up here. Now, what I thought, and this might have been a mistake on my part, or I might have made the right decision, I don't know, but halfway up here, it was either return back down Devil's Kitchen and down, but with her ankle being as sore as it was, to get back down Devil's Kitchen would have been hard. I knew somewhere, where are we? I knew somewhere here at Glyders, there's a track. Oh no, Glyders, sorry. There's a track that leads to this, the miners track. Now, with it being called the miners track, I thought it would be a clear path where we could head down it, follow it to here, and end up on the penny pass. So I thought, instead of heading back down Devil's Kitchen, which would have been hard, I thought if we can just carry on up this scree, go across and find that track, it will be easier and safer. So she ended up thinking she could carry on, so we carried on up the scree bit here. We eventually, after quite a long time, made it to Glyders. Okay. Once we got to the top of Glyders, it weren't as bad, because she weren't pushing on the ankle. She was able to walk properly, and the weather looked fairly clear. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll show a bit of footage now from Glyders.
we have made it to the top, but I'm not sure what one's actually classed as the peak. There's this little rock formation here, there's this one, or there's that there. I'm not sure if there's a marker.
I was about to say, is it not that over there? Can you see?
But it's very misty. Very misty. You can't get a good view really, which is a bit disappointing. But it's another mountain ticked off the list for the girls. I will say, coming up Devil's Kitchen, she had a bit of a slip and banged her ankle. So it has been a bit difficult. There's a lot of stopping and starting and stuff, but she done it, and I am proud, very proud. The plans have changed. We don't fancy going back down Devil's Kitchen, so I think we're just gonna try and find the miners track, and then head down that way. But yeah, we made it to the top. Glyders or Glyders. I'm not sure what one it is. I can't remember. So we'll walk across to the other Glider, and then try and find the miners track back down, and see if we can head to Lamberis. Okay, so yeah, I'll probably give an update once we find the track. Okay, see you in a bit. So we'll walk across to the other Glider, and then try and find the miners and see if we can head to Lamberis. We're just gonna head over to Glyders, where the cantilever is. It's clearer a bit down here, so hopefully a nice view at some point, but look at that. It's a bit windy, but it's not as bad as when we were on Snowdon. When we done Snowdon a couple of years ago, on the top, 85-mile-an-hour winds. So it's not as bad as that, but I just wish we would have had a nice clear view. But yeah, look at this. Glyders conquered again for me. The first time, Glyders, and we're heading over to Glyders. So yeah, that was just a quick update.
Okay, so as of right now, we're somewhere here. Now, at this point, as you can probably see in the footage, it began to get really foggy. We could not see 20 meters in front of us. It also really started to rain bad, and the wind was picking up. Now, I should have known better, where I didn't pack a first aid kit, I didn't pack waterproof coats, I didn't have a shelter. I didn't expect to be up here that long, but obviously you can't plan for accidents to happen, which you should always prepare for that just in case. But I thought it would be roughly 5 hour up and down journey. But at this point, we had already been up this mountain for many hours. So we were tired, wet, cold, couldn't see in front of us. And that's when it was beginning to become a bit of a nightmare. But I knew going back down, that's not an option now. So we decided to push on. And then roughly somewhere here, there was a big, like a big rock formation. Now I thought it was Glyders, so we began to climb it, hopefully to try and sort of tick that off, but also to get round it to find that track, not knowing the track is all the way over here somewhere. Now, we made it most of the way up this big rock formation. I then realised this is not Glyders, because I've been up Glyders in the past, and it just didn't look familiar. But I weren't sure whether it's because it's foggy, it just weren't clear. But either way, I thought, let's give up on Glyders, let's get back down this rock formation. Now, on this peak, there's no paths. So, that along with the fog, I could not find a route around to here. So it was a case of, let's just head this way and hope we find something. So we ended up coming along, at which point, luckily enough, we managed to get Google Maps with the locator on. Thankfully, we had signal, and using that to see what way we were facing along with the map, using the location, I worked out we were roughly here. So we were just south of Glyders. Now I made the decision, leave Glyders. It's getting dangerous. We just need to get down now. The wind was bad. It was raining. We didn't have waterproof jackets or anything. We were losing time. So I just said, let's just find the minus track and get down. Now, like I say, there weren't no clear path, so it was a case of using the Google locating thing and the map to roughly work out where we needed to go. So it took us a while, but we eventually got to, where are we? We eventually got to roughly here. Right. Now, at this point, we were a bit lower than the peak, so the fog had gone. And in the distance, we could see a lake with what looked like a path going away from it. So using the map and the Google locating thing, together we worked out the lake we could see was this, and the little what looked like a path seemed to be this. So we carried on heading down. Eventually we made it to roughly where this was. Now this is named the minus track, and all the way back on the mountain peak, I was hoping this was a proper track because it's labelled the minus track. I thought it would be easier for an ankle and a safe way down. But when we got to here, there was no track. I don't know why it's labelled that on this, but what it looked like was just grass that had been flattened by people walking. But either way, we thought, let's just follow it and maybe the track picks up. So after a lot more walking, we ended up coming roughly to down here. Now, there was still no track. Now, we managed to work out where we were roughly because of this bit where these two streams meet. Okay, now what I thought is we're down a lot, let's just keep heading down this way, because the only other option was to go back up. So we kept going down. Now, I don't know where, but roughly here it become a very steep downhill full of rocks. But the only option was to keep heading down. So we carried on, stop, start, stop, start. We kept slipping, we kept falling. It was a very difficult descent. Now, we carried on until roughly here somewhere where there was no clear way down. We seen what looked like an edge of a cliff, so I walked over to it to see if we can get down, and there looked to be a way down. So after climbing down a load of big rocks, we managed to get somewhere here, at which point there looked to be another cliff edge. I decided to just go ahead because I didn't want to drag her further with her ankle. So I went ahead a little bit to the cliff edge to see if there was a way down, and it was just a drop. We was not going to be able to get down it. So the only other option was to head back up, climbing up the rocks to hopefully go around it. We managed to do that. We managed to get around it, and we ended up just following the stream. We managed to follow the stream up until around here, where I could see a stone wall in the distance. When I got my map out and looking at the road and the stream and stuff, I worked out that the wall I could see was this. Now, looking at the map, I knew if we was to follow that wall along, we would eventually either come to this minus track, and hopefully it's a track, or if the worst comes to the worst, just follow the wall down to here, because I knew there was a hotel here. Now, that sounded easy, but to get to that wall was a very steep, wet, soggy, just a horrible climb down. But it was doable. It weren't cliff faces. I knew we could do it. So after what seemed like forever, we managed to get down after many falls and slips and stuff. We managed to get to the wall. Now, at this point, it's got to be said, it was getting dark. It was roughly, I would say, 10 o'clock at night. We didn't have torches or any form of light, because like I said, we weren't planning on being up here all night. So considering we had set off at, I think we started at about 1, it's now 10 o'clock at night, and we're here. Now, it has to be said, I know calling the mountain rescue is a very serious thing, but during this trip, up here on the peak, well, I was really considering it. But where we were, it was just foggy. I knew no mountain rescue would be able to find us. So we had to keep going. The other time we come close to just giving up and calling mountain rescue was when we climbed down all these rocks just to hit a cliff. I was really considering it then as well. But instead, we climbed back up and come down. Now, at this point, it is pitch black. And from this wall to the road still seemed like a very far way. We could see car lights in the far distance, and it seemed like a far way. The light was going, it was getting dark. Now, along this wall, it sounds easy, just follow the wall. But this is still very rocky and wet and slippy. Doing this in the pitch black was getting to be difficult. We couldn't see where our foot was going. So I made the decision, let's get over this wall, head down here to the road, because at least then we're on dry land and flat land. So with the very little light we have left, let's just get across this so we're safe on flat land. This was very wet, very soggy, holes everywhere. This alone was difficult in the dark. But after a long challenge, we managed to get to the road. And then thankfully we managed to ring a taxi company. We explained we have just been lost and stuck up the mountain for hours and hours and considering mountain rescue multiple times. The taxi company said no one will pick us up where we were at that time. But we told them basically we were desperate. We had no way to get back to our transport. We had nowhere to go. Thankfully, he managed to find someone who was willing to come and pick us up. But they wanted us to get to this Penny Pass car park within half an hour. We could not do that. He was having difficulty trying to work out where we were. So together we thought this hotel is the perfect meeting point. So we just headed down this road until we got there, and thankfully the taxi managed to pick us up. And that was basically the end of the horrible mountain experience. So I just wanted to do this little video. I'll cut it up into parts and insert it into the video where needed. But the reason I wanted to do it is to just show I've been up a few mountains now. I feel confident in going up mountains, but also bearing in mind I've been up these mountains before. But that just shows that even if you know the mountain, you've got your maps, you feel confident. When you're up there and the fog hits and you're disorientated and you can't find the right track, the situation can become dangerous very quick. Along with me not realising we will be up there that long, didn't pack torches, waterproof gear. We just was not prepared for what happened. So for someone who is just going up there for a day's walk, you might not be into mountain gear. That situation could have been very serious. I am thankful that I was confident I could get us down off the mountain. Even if it was slow going and trial and error, let's go this way. That was the wrong way. Let's come back. I knew I could get us down because I knew that south side was more slopey rather than climbing. And I feel good with reading maps and pinpointing stuff and comparing it to the map. But that cannot prepare you for the fog. You can't see in front of you. It can't prepare you for the weather changing so quick. Or another point, like I said, on that map there was a path labelled the minus track. When we got to where it was just grass that had been flattened by people walking on it, which also was okay looking at it from up high. When you get to level with that, it's impossible to see it. So you become lost really quickly. So what I will always say is, be prepared for the worst. Even if it's a bright sunny day, up there on the mountain can be totally different. You also cannot plan for someone falling and hurting themselves. It quickly becomes a race against time and nature, the weather. So always prepare for the worst, because at least then you're ready to try and battle against it. I feel like I made a lot of mistakes. I should have known better, but I maybe I was just overconfident. But yeah, thankfully the mountain rescue wasn't called out. But to be honest, I was debating it 2 or 3 times, because if I was on my own, I wouldn't feel as worried. But because I had someone with me, and then they're relying on me to get them down. And if it got to the situation where I felt like I was putting someone else in real danger, I would have called mountain rescue. And I considered it 2 or 3 times, but thankfully I managed to get us down. So coming down, there was no, let's get the camera out, let's record this. I just wanted to get us down. That was our priority. It got very dangerous up there. So that's why there's no return journey down. So I do apologise for not being able to get to Glyders and no footage for coming down, but our safety was more important. The last thing I wanted to happen is for us to be stranded on top of a 900-metre mountain with no gear, no shelter, no waterproofs, with the wind, the rain, the fog, mountain rescue not being able to find us. Yeah, it was just the worst. It's probably the worst experience I've had up a mountain. Bearing in mind, this is the same mountain that I have been up, and last time my brother slipped and nearly broke his leg, and he had to be rescued by the mountain rescue team. So yeah, no matter how experienced you are, always be prepared, okay? Because you can't plan for things to happen, the weather, accidents. Be prepared, learn from me, because I've taught myself massive lessons from this trip. So yeah, I just want to say thank you for watching. I'm gonna go and have something to eat now. We're back, we're unpacked. I got to see the babies, but yeah, I'm just glad to be back now. After yesterday, yeah, I'm just glad to be back. So thank you for watching, and yeah, take care up the mountains. Peace.